Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. It has been kind of a weird week in Call of Duty given the fact that we've now seen like 3 or 4 new updates drop just this week alone. Of course, we've got Season 3 Reloaded coming up here in early May, around May 10th, so that's really not all too far off in terms of our next major update, but this week we had our routine weekly update. We saw some surprise patch notes, and then in the last 24 hours or so, we've seen several new sort of mini updates, some gameplay updates go live across MW2, Warzone 2, and DMZ, all of which are pretty important for the most part. So let's start first with Raven's Twitter. This is where a handful of these new patch notes come from. So they say, we pushed out a small update this morning to resolve an issue with combat records. Combat records in Warzone 2 are now separated into 3 categories: Battle Royale, Resurgence, and Plunder. Moving forward, stats will apply to the respective mode that they were earned in. So this is because there was a huge issue when Plunder first dropped earlier on this week, where all the stats of Warzone 2 between Battle Royale gameplay, Resurgence gameplay, and Plunder gameplay were all tracking together. So if you went 5 and 5 in a match of Battle Royale, you'd have that 1 KD. If you went 5 and 5 in a match of Resurgence, you'd still have that 1 KD. But then if you went crazy in Plunder and dropped like 30 kills and died twice, your KD overall would skyrocket because it was all tracking together, which obviously just makes stats in general super inaccurate because the modes play so differently. So while the stats up until yesterday morning when this update was pushed out were all tracking together, from this point on, you're going to see in the actual menu tab now, you've got a Battle Royale tab for your stats, so you can see all your gameplay on Al Mazrah or any future Battle Royale maps. You've got your Resurgence specific stats, which should be Ashika Island, and then technically Massive Resurgence, even though it's on Al Mazrah, should track there. We'll have to wait and see if that actually functions as intended, because I have my doubts. Then we also have our separate Plunder stats too, so you can see everything there in its own categories. We won't have this crazy overlap that makes your stats look completely false because of, you know, one specific mode. So definitely some good news there with the combat record update. Now, you might also realize that yesterday afternoon there was sort of a surprise playlist update for Warzone 2, despite the fact that just on Wednesday we had a playlist update for the standard weekly update, but they ended up replacing standard Battle Royale trios with the World Series of Warzone qualifier trios. Now, you can jump into this. It's going to be ultra sweaty though, because this is the public playlist where people are trying to obviously qualify for the World Series of Warzone tournament coming up. So this will be the public qualifier for anyone who wants to jump into that with their team and try and earn a spot in the later stages of the actual World Series of Warzone event. So that's going to be there until the 30th. That's going to be the main trios playlist. There is no standard trios, which is a bit unfortunate if you were trying to play that, obviously. But also, in addition to that playlist being updated, the World Series of Warzone qualifier mode was a bit broken initially. Surprise, surprise. So they did release a few small changes for this as well. Raven tweeted out saying, we've released several fixes to address issues in the World Series of Warzone trios. Team that lost matches and incorrectly placed 155th. That's just a visual bug. So that status update won't appear there anymore when you actually get eliminated. The UAV kill streaks were not working, just straight up huge issue, right? Obviously, so those will now function as intended. And then also the various stronghold objectives were not tracking as well. Then they also mentioned, hey, yeah, World Series of Warzone trios is live too, even though all those updates are specifically meant for the World Series of Warzone style mode there. But you might notice that again on the menu when you jump in. Don't be alarmed, that is intended, and that mode is for the specific tournament qualifiers. Now, we also have some more general updates here that Infinity Ward tweeted out. That is something that primarily affects Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer, but it is something you might see also in DMZ or in Warzone 2 if you're looking at the scoreboards frequently. Basically, they say, this morning we released an update that addressed an issue where the scoreboard cannot be opened or would cause some flickering for some players in multiplayer matches. I've seen you guys commenting about this like crazy. Zach, why can't I open the scoreboard? It's freezing my game. It's making my screen freak out. So that issue has been fixed. You can actually open the scoreboard in a Call of Duty game in 2023 and it'll display a normal scoreboard. There won't be flickering and won't make your screen freak out. I know that's pretty crazy. This fix though ended up causing some other issues. So I mean, Man, MW2, you fix one thing, another thing breaks. This fix has caused some prestige icons to appear incorrectly in the scoreboard. They are aware of that. They're tracking that. So if you look at the scoreboard, you'll be able to see everything, but it won't always be accurate data when it comes to player levels and player prestige icons. So just a little bit of a heads up, a bit of a PSA there. Now, as we get into some of these other changes that were revealed and also some background stuff going on, quick reminder, if you guys are new to the channel, I'm your one-stop shop for everything going on in COD, whether it's MW2, Warzone 2, DMZ, I got you covered on a daily basis. So feel free to hit that subscribe button, turn on those post notifications to always stay up to date. And if you guys enjoy this video, let me know by dropping a like on it as well. I do want to bring up the Infinity Ward Trello board real quick here because we have seen a new update to this recently since we last covered all the various new additions the other day. Essentially, here in DMZ, we've got one new issue now being investigated. Hopefully, this means that we'll have a fix for this pretty soon, but they say we are aware of an issue in DMZ where players appear to not earn XP from certain faction missions. This is caused by a UI delay, but players are earning XP. We are actively investigating this issue. So if you're doing those certain faction missions, it might look like visually on the menu and in game you're not earning that XP for completing those missions, but the XP is in fact tracking in the back end. So just be aware of that. Obviously, if you're not paying attention to the Trello board, or maybe you're not watching this video and you're seeing that, you probably think that your game is broken and the missions aren't tracking correctly and you're not getting rewarded for them. Not the case. Hence why having this Trello board and being able to relay this information to you guys is so important. Anyway, moving on, obviously earlier on this week, we got the Plunder update at long last here in Warzone 2. And shout out to Medina's HD over on Twitter for posting this. But Plunder, as we sort of saw in the initial preview blog for it, does have some sort of hidden special rewards that you can earn just for simply completing some basic challenges in game. We're not exactly sure how many of these secret or hidden challenges there are so far, but Medina's HD has posted a handful of these where you can actually earn some free in-game rewards, whether it's vehicle skins, weapon charms, stickers, calling cards, all sorts of stuff like that. So for the heavy load Hummer skin, you just have to win a Plunder match to unlock that. For the pawnbroker calling card, you need to sell one valuable in the shop to unlock, so go to the buy station and sell that stuff. For the 24 karat and windfall large weapon decals, it's just kill related, so you get a certain amount of kills in Plunder, you will eventually unlock those decals. Then also for the robber baron calling card, you have to purchase the life insurance in the shop that costs 40,000 in-game dollars, and you'll get that reward there. So a couple of small sort of hidden unlocks there, just pretty much simply for playing the game, of course. And then, like I said, we have no idea how many of these rewards there actually are. I know for a fact there's several more than this just based off the blog, but there could be a bunch that we're going to discover over time. Maybe some require like crazy thresholds for winning a huge amount of games or for getting a ton of overall kills eventually, right? So we'll have to keep our eyes on that to see what other potential unlocks are available there over time. But all that being said, that is effectively everything that ended up changing in the newest update, our third update this week for MW2 and Warzone 2. And that's going to wrap things up. If you guys enjoyed the video, let me know by dropping a like on it. And if you're new here, feel free to hit that subscribe button and turn on those post notifications. That way you can always guarantee you're up to date with the latest news, updates, loadouts, tips, everything else going on in COD. It's always right here. And also, if you guys want to check out any of my partners, be sure to use code IMMORTAL for a discount on all Gamer Advantage, G Fuel, and Control Freak products, and the links for all those can be found down in the description below. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in, and until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.